All right, so we're taking the bushings out first. I use just a cheap knife, and it's best to cut these bushings out of the way. Be careful because the knives have a tendency to break. Probably shouldn't cut toward your leg. But if you cut all the way to the center, then you can kind of peel them out of here. All the way to that bushing. Don't worry about trashing a couple of 50-cent blades. It's better to trash a couple of blades than spend a bunch of extra time on fighting a losing battle. So we're just pulling this out of the way. That helps us set it up on the press or the vise, whatever you're using. So for the bushing, that's out of the way. We'll do the same thing on this side. I don't know which side I'm gonna push them out of to begin with. As far as the ball joint, you can see I always take the boot off the ball joint. So that just saves you a little time. So we'll go up to the press here. This control arm has a small and a large inner washer. We're gonna push the shaft through and take this bushing out with this small washer. That's how GM designed it. Let me pull this bushing off. Do this side again. This is the other bushing. I don't do a lot of these, so I don't always remember what bushing to cut. So for the video, I'll probably have all four sides cut. But you really only need the side that you're pushing out cut. Or the side that you're pushing through the arm. Through there. Get up in there. That booger's really in there. Here she comes. And the goal is just to get it past the edge of the aluminum there so you can push it through the arm without trying to take this bushing flange with you. You can. It just requires a little more press strength. I like to have it cleaned up pretty good. There we go. So then we'll put it up here on the press. This small washer GM built, the purpose built to push that bushing out. So up here, we'll run the jack down. And on these uppers, you got to be careful. This end has a tendency to catch the threads, and it'll want to bend that control arm. So while you're pressing, pay close attention to make sure that bolt is passing through this sleeve and not bending it down. Just watch it close. If it starts to bend it, stop, back up. And we just want to make sure we're sliding through, because it'll bend that control arm so easy. See that bolt passing right through there? Bushing's out. Bushing's out. Bars out. Easy. This side, I suppose we could do like this. There's not a lot of strength holding that in. You know what, we're going to do it the other way. I'm going to pass this bushing through there. Since the press is already set up, we'll just push the bushing through this way. You can change it around if you like and push it out with the other way, but this works. I should have cut that, and I think I did cut this. I just didn't pull the rubber off this part, so you'll see it's going to fight us a little bit, but it's not a big deal. Ultimately, that's going to tear and break off. But that's why I cut those, because then you don't have to deal with that folding up and capturing your press tool. Done. Bushings are out. Captured my press, so, but we can work on that after the video. Obviously, you just push that back out. So for the ball joint, you'll notice there's 4 steel rivets. I've already ground 3 of them, and you can see when you grind far enough, you'll see the rivet kind of pass the aluminum. We're going to grind this last one. Grind slow, take your time. You don't want to grind into the arm much. It ain't gonna hurt if you get in the arm a little. But you can see it's starting to show through a little bit. We're getting in there. So maybe lighten up on the grinder a little. Now you can see it shows through the aluminum just a little bit. Let's get a little bit more back here. Now a lot of folks like to use a drill and drill through there, but I've found an easier way. At least I find it to be easier. Get a press tool. Let me lift my press up a little bit. And all this can be done in a vise. You don't have to have a press. Put a nice big hole so it can drop through there. And I set my blocks under the sides of the control arm. Position it so it's fairly straight. I like to put the press tool, whatever you're using, sockets are my thing because everybody's got them. I like to put it a little close to the front. And we're just going to press that bad boy out. This ball joint will pull the rivets right through the control arm. No drilling to worry about. Drilling a steel rivet out of an aluminum arm is tricky because the steel is so much harder than the aluminum. You end up falling off the aluminum and drilling a big old oval hole in your steel, in your aluminum. Press nice and slow. Pay attention to what's happening. Every once in a while you lose your position. I probably could have set up better for the video, but I'm not a video guy, so this would be kind of my first attempt at this stuff anyways. Change our method a little bit. That's going to be in the way, but I think it'll give us the ability to land the control arm a little bit squarer. And we're only going to go down a little bit. Nope, gotta keep it in the way. And you'll see it starting to press those rivets right through the arm. Looks like it's just taking the fronts mostly. So we'll put a little more pressure toward the back. And that's the trick, is keeping your, try to keep them going even. And it's just going to pull those things right through. I'm going to slide it forward to stop the front from, put the front on top of the block to stop the front from coming down, so we get that back moving a little bit more. And there goes the back. And that's the trick, is just keeping it so they kind of go about the same speed. And once you get it quite a ways, you can let it come out however it's going to want to, because you'll still have to tap on it a little bit. But this way, for my work, I like this way because you don't have to worry about drilling a hole in aluminum. And as you can see, now it's just a little bit of hammer work, and we're out. You could probably use the press some more on it, but it'll come right out. Let's try the press. I got a few minutes. Spot back here and boom. You got bushings and ball joints. Just like that. Perfectly round holes. Easy for the bolts to bite into on your replacement ball joints. The nuts will be up top. There it is.